Well, hello there. This is that one generic guy, Grinder here, and today I'm gonna be doing more Talos 2. Sorry that I'm a little bit late, and I'm gonna admit I don't have a good excuse either. So, yeah, I was just I wasn't paying attention to the time. Well, I guess we shall hop right on over. And I will plan on trying to go back to do all the stars and special thing. That'll probably be. I don't know if I'll be able to finish the South End this week. And if I cannot, I'll do that and then I'll try to do that next week. And then I'll try to focus on getting the stars and special stuff done. Ah, yes. The palm reader. It's been like what, a month and a half since last played, so I'm gonna be a bit rusty. Did I do this one yet? Yeah, I did. Oh, I just have 8 in gate. Where's 8? 8 is to the left. There it is. Preliminary. Okay. Oh, okay. So, what I am going to actually have to do is so nothing for that side. Nope, run away, run away. Okay, 1 second. I think I know what to do for a moment. Coolio. So I can tell that there's a reason it needs to be back here, but I don't know what the reason is. Oh, wait a second. I might be dumb. Wait, you know what? I could have just interrupted this one, but... Oh, yep, go around the long way. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do is have it this way. I have to somehow have this unlocked. Okay. So the thing's right there. Okay, I know what to do now. So I'm gonna have to have one back there to do the red, and then I can have to have one doing blue bounce out and hit this. Okay. Got it. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So now what I need is this. I should have done the keep connections. The reason why is that if this is over on this side, Coolio. Nope, run away, run away. Coolio!
I'm impressed.
I forgot, did I get the star for this area? I really should have gone through some more of this. Okay. So that's the southern area. Sorry, I meant the western area. I should have said western area. I'm not bright. This gate. Nope. What the? Nope. Hmm. What the? Ugh. I have a feeling for some reason that this one should be at the end. Not quite. There we go. Nope. Nope. There we go.
Prometheus was bound for many years, his torment seemingly eternal, until one day, Zeus commanded his son, the great hero Heracles, to free the Titan from the rock. Why did Zeus relent?
I am glad that they are using the original name for Heracles. The Greek name is Heracles. It's funnily enough the Roman name Hercules. Zeus and his son, I needed Prometheus' help because no one's punishment should be eternal. Zeus, based off of all of the mythologies that I knew of, he's not a nice guy. So honestly, knowing him, from what I know of, I do not know him personally. If I do, I probably wouldn't be where I am. And two, uh, well, yeah. So basically, based off of everything I know, him not being a really nice guy, he probably needed Prometheus's help.
Is helping those you love more important than justice?
Justice can definitely be kind of vague because there's a bunch of conditions on what we would call stuff like justice. Like, oh, hey, look, stealing is bad, but let's say you're stealing food so that you can live. Is that considered bad? People would not consider that bad. People would consider an injustice for the fact that you had to stoop to that point. But then, what if you're stealing food to live? Yes. But what if you did it because you're lazy and didn't want to get a job? Would rather do that? Again, people would consider that bad. But what if it was because when the way you were raised, you grew up with no skills, being told the world would be yours because, let's say, they grew up rich, but then they had done something that or they were kicked out or the family lost everything. Like it's kind of a mix. It's at the end of the day, uh, it's just it's difficult to try to figure out.
A foolish answer, honest and unconsidered. I hope you find the wisdom in it. A time of dreams is at hand, creature of clay. To save your friend, you must do as Heracles did. But what will follow, none can see.
No, won't let me jump on. Probably had too many people doing that, so they had to patch it out or something.
Well, at least this part is consistent. The megastructure is opening again.
All right, everyone. Assemble at the VTOL as soon as possible. Melville, keep an eye on the energy readings, please.
Tis not easy to deal with. One second. No, wrong thing. Okay, megastructure.
Affinity for this place, and that the entities respond to you more strongly than they do to us. So, once you're inside, I want you to take point. Do whatever you need to free Prometheus, but remember that our prime objective is to save our friend. Melville, I want you to stay at the VTOL and let Yakut and 1K go in. I'm going to stay behind as protocol requires. I don't love the idea of sitting this one out. Byron is my oldest friend, but we're doing this by the book.
Understandable. There we go. The Vitol. Alcatraz.
All right, I'm taking us in. Let's hope we can find the big guy.
Yep, bigger than life. I wonder that if they ever made a third Talos Principle, if they would add all the colors in between the well, basically the rainbow of colors, like red and blue make green, but red and yellow make orange, and yellow and red and what was it? Was it blue and yellow actually made green? What was red and green then? Yeah, red and blue. Purple? Yeah, I think that was it. Purple. By the way, this is a man that knows absolutely nothing about colors. Just stuff that I remember from like elementary school. So I'm not claiming to remember anything. Ooh, floating bricks. I don't know why, but it kind of made me think of the Borg cubes from Star Trek. A little bit. Okay, so that cube is all of one thing. So each cube is their own corner. Okay. And I see that each big cube is also basically identical. I mean, that's one way to make an Ellie.
Yay! I found another elevator. My favorite.
Come on, Ellies aren't bad. Giant Tesla coil thing.
Once again, I have no idea where I am. No sign of Prometheus so far. Hope you're doing better.
Oh, hey, look, it's a horizontal elevator, also known as a tram. Except for it's all, by the looks of it, electromagnetically done.
I've said this before, but look at the size of this. How can all of this be one machine?
This is what you get when one machine builds a bigger machine, which builds an even bigger machine.
That's our whole history, isn't it? The whole history of humankind. And it's not just machines. It's science, it's literature. Knowledge builds on knowledge.
Yep, it's basically exponential. I think I'm in the power center, honestly. Because this don't look like a data center. Not saying that it couldn't be, but it wouldn't make sense for the data center to be all circles and stuff. One second. Actually, I want to see if I put my videos down at all. Well, I preset Ultra. Sure. Ultra. Okay. Apply! Back. Doesn't look much different, honestly. Maybe the lights are more glowy. And that's water below me. But I feel like those things are giving power to everything rather than actually, I don't know, doing much else. Or maybe they're like power banks. I don't know. Water is actually an interesting way to ground, though, if that's the case. Ah, Prometheus.
Be careful, 1K. We don't know what's down there.
I think I do. Hey, look, it looks like two generators. They kind of look like the ones that you traditionally see in water, like dams and plants that tend to use water. Wow, this is so big, it's creating a fog cloud, which means someone has a fog machine running. Cube. I assume we have to go across for puzzles. Probably to free Prometheus, honestly. Or break him. Because these two giant freaking chains going directly up to this thing kind of makes me think of something. Yep, I have to break all the chains. I wonder if it's timed. That'd be interesting. Huh. Stairs that go down. I want to get this puzzle done, then I'll explore down there. Oh, it's a drone. Fun. Cool. I just wanted that to get out of the way. We. Nothing going on here. I bet you there is something to do with it. Oh. I have to be upside down. Nope, not quite. Almost. Almost. Nope. Coolio. Upside down. Go up. You did me. I don't know why, but this is making me think of the Steel Man. Or whatever it's called. Not the Steel Man. The bronze statue one. Holy crap. Okay, so I will say, they made an amazing job at animating that. But it just didn't, like, it looked like it had the weight, but it just didn't feel like it had the weight, you know? Geronimo! Risk. That was close. Playing with my life fast and loose there, aren't I? Here, let me have this a little more out of the way. I have the pop. I have a normal pop filter, but I also have a second pop filter that I have off to the side. So if you feel like I'm popping a lot when I'm talking. If it only had that a more meaty sound to it when it was, you know, making the sounds. Yakut.
I don't think you can get up here, 1K. You'll have to do a puzzle after all. It can't be that hard, right? It's not like everyone is depending on me.
Well, at least he can pull one pin. It's not like I'm asking him to do much more. Too bad I can't see out of his viewpoint off in the corner or something.
This has to connect over here. Then, wait. If I do this, and then that. What?
Too bad there isn't one of those body trans. What was
I
that?
get it.
Nice.
Wow, I feel really smart. Also, never doing that again.
I don't know why. It just. This one does have some meatiness to its sound, but. It'd actually be kind of interesting if his arm collapsed or something. Because I will say, even though they were restraining him, they were also holding him up. There we go. Already did that one. Oh, you know what? I find that these puzzles are interesting because it's only using the tetrahedron and nothing else. It's just you gotta get to the pins and that's it. That's probably Prometheus sharing fire with the humans. By the way, chains are actually incredibly inefficient use of material. They're easy to repair, but they're also way weaker and heavier compared to this thing must weigh a freaking ton to do basically than like a steel wire. I'm pretty sure it'd be way, way, way louder than that. Man, this place is vast. Huh. What's up here again? Just the alternate pathway. Got it. That was kind of a weird look glitch. Only have 2 left. Nope. There we go. There we go. But considering how much pressure was on that, I don't think a machine, even like the one that I am in this game, would be able to pull out something like that. I love how that just hit the path. I think it'd be cool if they added scratches or damage to him. Or, you know, maybe outright destroyed a piece or two. Because those things are heavy. And I do mean heavy with a double H. That may have been semi-dangerous. I don't know how deep those pools are, and I don't necessarily want to find out. I really want to jump onto that thing. Not possible, sadly. Oh, you can't jump. Yep. It's just that symbolism. Now I probably have to go back to in front of Prometheus. Oh, I jumped off. But now, 'tis nothing holding him back. Then this should hopefully pull the chains off of him, I'm guessing.
I thank you, Son of Man, for breaking my chains. Too long has the flame been hidden by fear and mystery. It is time to put away these childish things and for you to know the truth of the Alpha and the Omega.
The beginning and the end.
And the end. I will send you visions of the truth. But remember that prophecies are a heavy burden.
If I remember correctly, a lot of prophecies by the Greek, as
New Jerusalem
foretold.
sounds like such a beautiful place. So, how did you decide to leave?
Were
I
misleading.
know what we're trying to accomplish here, and I believe in it. But for you, New Jerusalem was home. What changed that?
It took me a long time to realize that something was wrong. Oh, I'd noticed that something was off, that something had changed since the early days, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. So I ignored it. And then one day I woke up to realize I was no longer Athena. Instead, I had been transformed into the Founder, a remote figure of legend, mythologized in my own time.
But if it bothered you, couldn't you just talk to them? If you share the truth with someone, they should change their mind, shouldn't they?
Oh, I wished it worked that way, Miranda. I really do, but I barely knew the last generations. In the beginning, I was there for every birth. I explained our history, talked about our future, but at some point, I got so busy building that future that I lost touch. They thought of me as a remote figure because that's what I was.
But can you change that?
I tried, but they already saw me as the Founder. The myth was too powerful, and it was already taking on a life of its own. I'd set a goal of 1,000 citizens. The number was arbitrary. Just a nice round number, nothing more. But just like I became the Founder, it became the goal. Another part of the myth. And maybe that could have been all right. Myths are a part of who we are, but something else crept in. The old human self-hatred.
So why didn't you just tell them to change? To go a different way? They would have listened to you.
No, they would have obeyed me, like my siblings in the simulation had obeyed. And that's when I realized I had to leave.
We can show them the future, Miranda, but we can't force them to accept it.
Honestly, that is pretty truthful.
I have it. After all this time, I have it. I finally have it. The mechanics of the cosmos. From quarks to galactic filaments. Everything that makes the world what it is, makes us who we are. In a single equation.
The key to understanding the machine that is the universe, and to controlling it. A theory of everything.
The theory
And
of relativity.
she was right. The language of creation is a melody, and it's beautiful. Every future is possible now. Every future, except one with Miranda in it. I can do anything, except bring her back. Or unbreak Cornelius's heart.
The gates of horn and ivory.
Byron was right. The Founder was always a fiction. She's just a person.
A theory of everything. She solved it. She solved the lost puzzle.
You need to get out of there. We'll talk about this later.
All this time, we thought we were honoring Athena, but all we did was betray everything she believed in. She must have been so lonely. We might as well have exiled her. Maybe that's what all this is about. The puzzles, the towers, the entities. It's a test. A way for us to prove that we're worthy of her legacy.
Again, we're putting her on a high pedestal when she just wants to be seen as a person.
Finally, it all makes sense. Anti-gravity, matter synthesis, teleportation. It's not just one new technology. It's control over physics. Manipulating the base layer of reality itself. Rearranging the building blocks of the universe. If we can gain control of the megastructure, we can do anything we want. I'm not even talking about our energy problem. We can build anything we want. We can go anywhere we want. It's all up to us.
That's what Athena wanted for us. To give us a chance to be who we want to be.
But there is one thing you have to realize. That would basically put us on the same level as gods. And the thing is that with such immense power, a single reckless move could devastate so much. There's just so much that could go wrong with that. Way, way too much. Don't get me wrong. People would definitely use it for good and for betterment. But people will also use it for selfish and pitiful reasons that can hurt others.
Everyone okay?
Just
good.
because.
I'm taking us back now.
That's a relief. Meanwhile, there's been a development. You'll see when you land. How are things on your end?
The energy fluctuations seem to be dying down. Looks like the system is coming out of lockdown.
Good. Let's hope we don't regret this.
And these energy clouds just fly about? That seems terribly dangerous.
We haven't had any problems so far.
Except for losing one of the first companions, of course.
Heck, even the first companions are kind of mythologized.
I know what he's like. And I'm the one who agreed to all this in the first place. That's why I had to see it for myself. It is dreadfully imposing, though, isn't it? Hard to believe the Founder would build something so sinister.
The mayor's here?
Well, this should be interesting.
Ah, 1K. Welcome back.
I'm sure you're surprised by my presence here. Don't worry, neither I nor my advisors will be getting in your way. But I've decided that I need to see this place for myself. These visions sent to you by the entity that calls itself Prometheus are deeply concerning, of course. But we cannot take them at face value. In fact, it's crucial that we do not do so. We cannot simply abandon all that we believe because of a dream, no matter how vivid.
Yes. Gives me options, but all the options are single words.
No. If the founder really built all this, then it must have a purpose. It must be a test, designed to remind us of the trials that created us. But what is she trying to tell us? What are we being tested for? I believe that Byron's fate shows us the dangers of temptation. As Elohim attempted to deceive Athena in the simulation, commanding her not to ascend, so Prometheus is deceiving us with his visions.
Let's see. Honestly, whether or not I feel that they are real or not, whether in actuality they could very well be hallucinations. Don't get me wrong, but I feel personally that they were maybe not directly real, but at least an interpretation of reality. Sure. So I'd personally say reserve judgment, but I also feel like those visions were true.
Undoubtedly, they felt real to you. But surely you'll agree that we can't simply jettison our most cherished beliefs based on a dream. At least
But isn't the entirety of the reason that we're doing everything because of a dream?
After all, can it really be a coincidence that you came along on this mission?
Yeah.
It seems to me that you have been chosen. You are the fulfillment of the goal. Don't forget that.
He's basically just kind of telling me stay in your place and don't do more than you need, kind of. But one of the things that many people forget are the dangers of reality. No matter how much we wish or change stuff, we can always be injured. We can always get sick. We will always eventually pass away. Only 2? 3, sorry. Huh. You might be able to change the fundamentals of certain parts of the universe, but there are others that, unless you literally change what they are, whom they are, and how they function, they would no longer be them. Just like Athena was no longer herself. Yumping is fun. Off to the east side. Man, I'm gonna have a lot of stars I need to collect.
How's the system looking, Melville? Any obvious changes?
It's still a mess, but things are clearing up. I can access some of the subroutines that I was locked out of before. Nothing is obviously malfunctioning, I think.
Does it still accord special significance to 1K?
Yes, it recognizes 1K as a user. I'm just hacking things.
As I suspected, the founder sees you, 1K.
No. I feel it's more like since I'm such a new entity that it feels that I am one of the least biased ones that am seeing the world with a fresh view. It's dead here. Come on, let me out. Crap, I guess I have to go buy him. And almost directly towards me. So if I'm north by northeast, I need to go south by southwest. So
Father, what is my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Mother says purpose is something we choose. But I feel like there's something there. Something that's been there from the moment I was born. Maybe even before.
Well, there are many ways of looking at this, and everyone's experience is different, so you'll have to make up your own mind. But I have a little theory, if you'd like to humor your old man.
Of course. What is it?
The universe is eternal, but it's always lost in a deep, dreamless sleep. You are a tiny little bit of the universe that's suddenly woken up, and you've realized that being awake is better than being asleep. And that gives you a purpose.
And what is my purpose?
To be, Miranda. Just to be.
well, I know I need to get up there, so I might as well do puzzle 6. Oh. You know what? I need to find the lab. I guess I could also work on a secret puzzle. Oh, you can target them. 1 second. There we go. Finally figured out how to freaking use it. Back to 6.
I know you're all thinking about the goal and the theory of everything. Is the past what we thought it was? Is the future what we want it to be? But the only thing that's real, at the end of the day, is the present. And right now, what matters is that our friend is lost and needs our help.
I just want to see if this is tall enough first. Okay, it is. I'll finish off 6 first. There we go. Oh dear. Yakut.
Hey, can we talk for a second?
Of course.
I'm still struggling. I was really hoping we'd find Miranda alive. Her way of seeing the world was so inspiring. And the idea that I can never get to know her, that she's gone. I guess I've never really been good at dealing with death. Maybe because it's so rare in New Jerusalem. Except for pets, and even in that case, I find it very hard to deal with. I still miss my first cat, and it's been over a century since she died.
Death is difficult to deal with. The thing is that okay, this will be a little more personal, but so a grandpa I had grown up with had died just a little over a year ago because of, well, put it simply, brain cancer, or at least if the way I understood it, it was brain cancer. So he was slowly the simplest but inaccurate way not super accurate way to put it was that he was kind of slowly losing his mind. I'm not going to delve into too much details, but a couple examples would be he used to work as a firefighter, and when I say used to, I mean like 30 plus years prior. But the thing was that and he was living in a completely different state in a completely different area, and basically he thought he was still a fighter, and he was driving around in his van like halfway across the state thinking that he was on patrol, or basically he was like talking about things that happened many years ago as if it had recently happened. Like, he would still recognize the people around him as who they were, but it was kind of mixing his reality. His past was in his present, and his present he wasn't grounded, kind of. And we had planned on visiting him about a year and a week ago. But he had passed away literally a couple days before New Year's. And I had, and this had happened early morning. I had arrived at work. I had been working for a couple hours at this point. And then I had gotten a call from my mom saying that he had passed away in his sleep, when I was hoping to visit him in a half month to at least have one last semi-conscious talk with him, because he was expected to live for like another 4 to 6 months, if I remember correctly, maybe a bit longer than that. Because I remember at the time I was told he had a year to live. It was like late fall, or like or sometime during the fall, I think, and like mid to late fall, if I remember correctly. And it's just, he wasn't there anymore. and I was planning on visiting him with my siblings, and it's just never happened. And the the days we were supposed to be going to visit Grandpa, we were attending his wake. And during that, it's just one of the last goodbyes we were hoping to say to my grandfather. He wasn't around anymore. So, and I'm gonna say this right now. He wasn't the blood related grandpa. He was someone that I had grown up with. He was such a good man. And the place that we attended the wake for, it was packed. He had so many people come and say goodbye to him. He was such a lovely man. But the one thing that he tried to do but couldn't enjoy was golf. And it's been over a year, and I'm gonna say I am lately crying, but that man, he was worth crying for. Well, I'm to answer this from personal experience is that death of a close one is never easy. But the thing is that he wouldn't want me to continue crying for him. Maybe give thoughts to him every once in a while, and to think about, yes, I grew up with him, and that he would take care of us, and he would play with us, and he would take us out occasionally. He wasn't important, and but he doesn't want me to think about him with sadness. To remember the good times, and to understand that that's what makes them precious. That they won't last forever. And if you take something for granted, and when then you lose it, you it hits harder. Like me, living in a home, I kind of take it for granted because it's like, oh, hey, look, I have a job. I take my job for granted a little bit too. Like, things could be so much worse for me, but the thing is that it's like I've gotten used to living like this. And when you get used to living in a certain way, and then all of a sudden you hear about something that you know is going to come up and is going to happen soon, but it doesn't necessarily feel super real, but like you know that's happening. Like you're watching a train slowly chug down the tracks, and you're just standing on it in the middle of a tunnel, and you don't see how fast it's coming towards you. And then it's just, it happens. You lose something that's important to you, and I miss him with all my heart. He was such a great man. blood has nothing to do with family. Blood is basically who you're physically related to, but family are the people that you want to be close with, who are willing to be with you and stick with you through thick and thin. Heck, some people have friends that are more family than actual family, which is sad, but the thing is I'm also going to say this. Death is only hard for those that care about the life of the one that has died. Like, you might hear, oh, hey, look, 3 people got injured, or maybe a person died in a car crash, or maybe a few. And it's like, you can hear names, and but all you see are the numbers until you put faces to each of those names. Then it might hit you a little more. But it hurts the most when you, if it's someone that you know and care about and are close to. It's just, death is hard for those that you are close with.
When someone dies, it's this void. I know I should just let it go, but some part of me refuses. And I feel like that part, it hurts me, but it also keeps me human. And I know it would be healthier if I said, okay, Miranda is someone I never met. She's just a bunch of glitchy old files. But if I do that, as rational as it seems, it feels like I'm surrendering something that matters.
Don't let go. Use the pain as a foundation to build something. I'm going to say this. You don't have to let go of the pain of love. But don't use pain as a foundation for something. Use the love of it, not the pain or the hatred or anything else. Because the thing is that like hatred or pain, it can dull with time, and you might lose track of it and just be like, what am I doing this for anymore? And that puts everything that happened before, it feels like it gives it less meaning. You don't have to let it go, but don't let it take over your world. You have to let go. This doesn't help anyone. No one should ever let go of the pain of losing someone, but they shouldn't do it they shouldn't let go of something or someone that has been lost. And eventually pain fades with time. But what you need to remember is that it's the good times that matter more. I'll have this, not more than the bad times, but if you can't, I'm not going to say look forward to, because I guess if you can't reminisce about the good times that you've had with someone, and you can only remember their ending, then you are, I'm not going to say quite disgracing, but you're making your memory of them less than what they were as you knew them. I wish they would allow for extra options. because my grandpa was a good man and a lovely father and a wonderful grandfather. But still care about the person. Absolutely. The second one.
I hope so. I can't right now, but maybe I can get there somehow. Anyway, thanks for talking to me, 1K.
Sorry that this went on a little longer, and again, this is kind of personal, but at the same time, it's just...
Of course, go ahead. I think he's done his best. I don't disrespect him, but I'm not sure he's leading us down the right path. Despite everything that's gone wrong here, I'm not sure we should just reject what the megastructure has to offer. On the one hand, there's so much we could do with the theory of everything. So many lives I could live. I have enough ideas for the next, I don't know, 20,000 years, easily. And that's just from 5 minutes of thinking about it. On the other hand, Miranda's gone. So much hope, so much grief. I don't know how to balance that. I hear he escaped Pellegrino and peed all over Melville's workshop. So apparently, he's doing great. I miss him, though. I always feel like the fact that he likes me is a huge compliment. Lifts me up somehow.
And being liked by something that doesn't like anything definitely feels empowering.
Honestly, I'm not sure how I couldn't see it more clearly before. It doesn't match anything Alexander Drennan believed in, and continuing Drennan's legacy was Athena's whole point. In the ancient year 1969, a band called Mellow Macaron wrote a psychedelic rock song about the Talos Principle. It's called Cretan Bronze Man's Flying Mystery Adventure.
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
I don't know if it's nice, but it's definitely the most understandable song on the album. There's another one which is called The Fish People Will Teach You How to Sing, Mr. Allen, which is 20 minutes long and was recorded underwater.
I think there's a reason why it's called a psychedelic band.
I think you need psychedelics to maybe if you stick your head inside a really large magnet. Nope, but at least I finally understand why Athena wanted to get out of the simulation so badly.
Hey, Glitch Deer. Just get hit by a speeding bullet transport.
yearn for a better world. Yearn for it with such intensity that your heart suffers. Keep your eyes on that distant vision even when you know that you may never reach it.
I'll definitely say one of the things about goals is that it gives you something that to strive for, to try to reach out to.
When I decided that we should call ourselves human, I did that because it seemed like a powerful symbol of our continuity. But the truth is, and I'm ashamed to admit this, I thought we were better than them. I thought we understood the value of civilization, and we wouldn't repeat the same mistakes. But the simulation worked too well.
We're not just like them. We are them.
We really are.
But that doesn't have to be a bad thing, Athena. We may have the same flaws, but we also have all the potential they did. Everything that Alexandra Drennan saw in them is also in us.
I hope you're right. I really do.
Afraid that we're losing our humanity. We're angry at each other, always disagreeing about everything. We don't have to forgive each other for being different. I don't know how much longer, and I don't know. Let's see us. Please help us, Founder, please. From Byron to Athena. I just wish I knew why he didn't tell me. Sorry, I'm just... Yeah, sorry. Could hate humanity so much. This person must have been full of sadness and frustration to write something so ugly. There's so much anger, hate, sadness, and pain in the world that people forget that there's more to people than just being. Everyone has their own personal lives, and I will never experience every one of them. I will never understand other people's thought processes because of how they grew up or in what like the Indian caste system or the Mid-Eastern ways of like how important religion and theology is, or well, like the honor of the old Japanese, or it just, there are, unless you could live a million lives, and even then I wouldn't necessarily understand someone as much who lives halfway across the country. Like how California is always bustling and stupidly expensive, or how New York is always busy and uh, has everything has to be done quickly in such a small area, or how in someone in Florida who has to deal with hurricanes or other things on an almost constant basis. I will never be able to live all those lives in a single life. And I think that's one of the things that suck about living such a short life. Like, yes, we can say that someone that's lived for 100 years old is old. But if you think about it, imagine that, like, if you had to try to live one life in every single city on the planet, like, New York has changed in like 200 years. Like how much it's changed. It went from a wooden village to being a concrete jungle in like 200 years. And in between, it went from maybe it was a little more than 200 years. Maybe it's more like 300. But you get my point. It's just over a period of time, things change. So the thing is that not only do you have to live a million lives today just to find out what it's like to live in today, you'd have to live through every single piece of history of all the cities and towns throughout the ages. Cities have risen and fallen. Countries have rose up in a blaze of glory and petered out into the nothingness of. And it's just there are so many cultures and so many people out there, and just people can vary from city to city that are a couple miles away, let alone something so vast as thousands of miles or tens or hundreds of years. It's just so much has changed, and we'll never be able to live through all that. And it's just, at the end of the day, we one of the things that we try to do as humans is just try to experience as much as we can, as much as we want, because and that's kind of one of the things with people that are that have a hard time staying anchored in reality. It could be because that they have a legit mental illness, or something happened to them, like my what happened to my grandpa, where he was no longer grounded in reality, like people normally are. But it could be that people want escapism. Whether there are gods out there or not, whether there's some deity or greater purpose, or if everything is made by the self, if there's just so much that as an individual you will never be able to experience, that makes you realize how small we are in the grand scheme of things. But sometimes that can also bring a little comfort, knowing that you have experienced what you can experience. To having such a finite life means that you should try to enjoy what you can with what time and you have, and with what you are able to do. There is so much in life that we will miss out on, but at the same time, knowing that we can't do it all makes us want to try to strive for as much as we can. Because if you could live for 1,000,000 years, I bet you 99 point to the nth nines percent of people would be willing to take their time if they knew that they cannot or would not die? If you could live for 1,000 years and you could see how civilizations rose, fell, and everything, and just experience it, you would just want to take it easy and just see it. If you could live for 10,000 or 100,000 years, again, even if you tried to stuff a lot of things in real quickly, eventually you'd kind of experience a burnout of you still wanted to experience things, but putting in the effort is less like just you can wait because there's still so much more and you have the time to do it. And then it can go on and on. If someone could live to the end of time and like as many times as they want, to from the start to the end of everything in just a single area, there isn't enough time in our universe to be able to experience everything. And it's just, it is both sad but heartening to know that we choose who we are and we choose what we want to do. We may be limited in things, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd love to visit Japan someday, but I don't exactly have the cash to be able to do it easily. And I don't know the language well enough to be able to speak fluently. And I don't have the time off from work to be able to do that very often. But it's just, that's what makes it special too. The fact that you may not be able to do it very much. It's what makes it more worthwhile. That's the best way I could put it. It's worthwhile. Because you only have a while. But someone that could live forever could be easily desensitized. So it's just, you have to see it from as many perspectives as you can. And you know, his first push as Athena, a novel, and retained that title for its first 3 printings. No highly sought after. After a lull in popularity, reprinted as Athena Reborn, a novel. This edition retained the same text but included some of the author's poetry. Next edition, however, published long after the author's death under a rather embarrassing title, Athena's Truth, includes severe cuts and drastic changes to the text in the interest of updating it for modern audiences. This particularly affected the last chapter, Anthropogeny, where the editors accused of scientism and human supremacy. Science wonderkind Alexandra Drenian was one of the few to come to the novel's defense, writing in a long essay that the novel's clear-eyed belief in the value of Athena's journey towards humanity had been essential to shaping her own views, encouraging her to pursue science as a vocation rather than a career. And that changed the text constitute an attack on the author's unique artistic and philosophical vision. Alex, who hurt you? Lamel was one of the editors commented on popular social media platform. Nadia Sarbai, the Institute of Applied Nomadics. Let's see. In the current context of ecological catastrophe, as evidenced by the recent extinction of the orangutan, clumsily editing aside, do the critics of the novel perhaps have a point after all? Is a philosophy that creates human above nature and sees science and technology as only valid tools the cause of all of our troubles? I'll definitely say I was getting very philosophical on anyone who would ever dare to watch this. I'd be surprised if anyone was willing to. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a small guy just doing this for a mix of fun, but I think it would also be cool to be able to have this as like an opportunity to earn money. But at the end, it's not realistic. There's so many other creators out there that do so much more and are better than me in pretty much every way. So at the end of the day, the only way I can do this is for fun. Huh. I can read all this later, and I bet you there are tens of or hundreds of videos out there somewhere on YouTube or others that will tell you about this stuff.
Supposed to work. The system is meant to last centuries. Centuries! And yeah, Chernyshevsky's plan, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But I'm working with hardware that was deliberately designed to fail. Planned obsolescence, baby. Selling broken garbage just to make another buck.
Yep.
You can't even spend because in a few more weeks we'll be extinct. Was it worth it? That's the part that Alexandra doesn't see. The greed, the stupidity, the selfishness, the way that we created this whole situation in the first place. She wants you to be like us, but if you ask me, there's a whole lot of human history and behavior you can just throw away, chuck it in the trash, right? You have a chance at a fresh start. Make the best of it.
You have to let it bounce back. Well, I think I screwed this over. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is okay. Nope. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I actually don't need that there anymore. Coolio.
We're making good progress.
I should have been able to get that done a little quicker, but oh well. Well, time to go number one. Automatic doors. Nope, crap. Panicking deer. Wasn't too hard.
Tell me, Yakut, what impact do you think the megastructure will have on the future of this island?
It depends on what we do with it. Miranda used it to spread life, to make things better. We can do the same.
And yet, poor Miranda lost her own life doing so.
She just made a mistake. She couldn't wait to show everyone what they discovered. We can be more careful.
Hmm. Get out of here. Well, at least there was a ladder out in case someone got stuck. Tally-ho, lads. I bet you the speedrunners in this game are nuts. Okay. So, I know what I need to do for that button puzzle from earlier. I just need to find it again. Or was it I looked thinking of the other area? I don't know. I'll find it. So, top, upper right, upper left, and middle right. There's 6. Over there. There it is. There we go. Glad I remembered it and didn't have to pull it up once.
When the heavens are silent, what is a prophet and what is a tyrant?
Hmm.
The reason I have always admired Alexandra Drennan is that even in death, she fought to see the world as it is, not as she wanted to see it. I say fought because I believe this is not an easy matter. It is a mental and spiritual struggle that we must undertake with great seriousness, even when we are joking. The ancients believed that for most of us, the world is a shadow cast by a flame, dimly seen on the wall of a cave. Our task is not to interpret these shapes, but to free ourselves from the cave itself.
I'll definitely.
Excuse me. I was looking at your research log, and I was rather perplexed by the latest upload.
Oh, Melville strikes again.
Is that your foot, Melville?
Yes. Do you want to see it up close? Although you won't be able to fully enjoy it as you don't have a rear camera.
Melville just has a unique way of taking pictures.
Next time you're getting an upgrade, you coot. I'm installing a mute button.
He could have been nice and said, she just doesn't see the world like we do. I'm missing something? Oh, okay. Hopefully this is one of those quick charge ones. Oh. There we go. Deer! Or those lights. CP security breach. Wanted to try it the other way just in case, but I thought this would have been the way in the first place. Doesn't hurt to try it out the other way, though. Okay, maybe I'm still wrong. Come on. This took a little smidgen longer, but there's probably also a much easier way to do this. I'm just not the brightest. Hmm. Okay, I do like how it's reflecting off the water. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so red is already being driven to. Sorry, this is just my brain malfunction while looking at it. I have no idea why my brain malfunctioned the way it did.
The founder has a remarkable gift for designing these trials. But then, she did have to overcome Elohim, whose very purpose was to design trials.
He sounded like he was about to say something else. Or another thing after that. I don't know.
What can I do for you?
You think the golden myth?
It's possible. I won't trust Prometheus until he actually leads us to Byron, but yeah, seems likely. But even if it is a myth, that doesn't mean we can just abandon it. Myths can contain elements of truth, and I think this one exists for a reason. Maybe
because
we
everyone fixated on it.
Imaginary founder because the real one lost her way. It's the only way I can explain what she's built here. She got wrapped up in her ideas and lost all sense of perspective.
I mean, who's to say that everyone didn't do the exact same thing, though?
People have thought they understood everything before. Obviously, Athena has unlocked tremendous powers, but forgive me if I'm skeptical that her theory really encompasses everything. Not just our ability to know, but our need to know. More equations
or how to
aren't going to make us any happier. Byron couldn't stand him. Have you ever tried asking the mayor a difficult question, he used to say? But I think he does an all right job, to be honest. I try to stay out of their circuits, and they try to stay out of mine. Helga is an old friend, but the others, they're not my crowd. He's smarter than people give him credit for. There's more to some folks than meets the eye, you know.
Yep. Never underestimate someone just because they act a certain way. Hmm. A box. There's not anything in there that I'm noticing. Hmm. Go the other way. Come on. Hmm. Still can't get that. Man, this is great. No, but seriously, what the heck am I supposed to do? I need that. I'm gonna try seeing about resetting. That might help. Maybe. Nothing's changed. Here, you know what? So I'm gonna first do is, nope, get the boxing out. Oh, I'm stupid. Nope. Okay. Actually, let me see how high I go. Okay, that should be tall enough. There we go. And by the way, there's no way in heck Athena would have had enough time to build all this anyway. She may have been here for a few hundred years.
What can I do for you, 1K?
Heck, even a couple thousand, and she wouldn't have been able to upkeep and maintain all this crap, though. So yeah, she definitely had that for helping her.
Let's assume for a moment that we could use it safely, which I doubt. Does that mean that we should? Is it right for us to dominate the world? We value our own freedom. Should we not also value the freedom of all the living things with which we share this planet?
Well, then why not just, you know, build something so we're no longer on the world? In that case, you wouldn't be wrecking a beautiful environment like this.
Not now. Let's have this conversation at another time. You still have a lot to do. Better get to it.
Come on, I still have more to talk to you about.
What can I do for you, 1K? My chief aide, Jeremy, is in charge for now. It's good practice for him, in case he decides to run for office one day.
I mean, it would give him something to do. Man.
Cornelius is responsible for many innovations. He helped create the designs for the upgraded body you inhabit, although the founder chose to remain in her original configuration. But in recent years, he had settled into a life of quiet scholarship. Or so it seemed. It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
You know, the citizen that's literally doing everything here. By the way, I think these tetrahedron puzzles are actually based a little bit on the creation. Well, I mean, it is based off of the creation technology. There we go. Practically hold my hand for the first portion. These kind of look like copper rails. A little bit. I don't know. Like you could slide something up them. Or down them. Come on. The lawn tunnel. I'll try to refrain from jumping. It's just ADHD.
This is the last time we will speak,
Creature of clay.
Together, we have told the stories of ancient gods and heroes. But the golden ages of the past are distant. The gods have retreated to their high places, and there are no heroes amongst men. In days gone by, I was renowned for my riddles. But you, creature of clay,
A riddle without an
are a
answer.
riddle without an answer.
Well, I mean, that is true. Okay, so I'll find my answer. I don't need an answer existence enough, and I have an answer, you just can't see it. Nothing knows everything, is the best way I could put it. You may have the mathematics of the universe down, but that doesn't mean that you know every single little thing about it.
What cannot be seen may be an illusion, or it may be truth. I cannot tell. Farewell, creature of clay. Remember my stories, and do not let the flame burn you.
Let me jump on it. No, Sedge. I think they added a patch where you can't jump over that.
That is an unsettling amount of energy. I would hate to see what would happen if one of those beams was aimed at something else.
Well, it's not like they exactly have the facilities to build a beam like that. Fine.
Number 1000. Greetings.
instead of 1K.
It's not hard-coded into us. It may be a distraction from what really is. A place where conflict and suffering don't happen, because its people have worked out how to live harmoniously. I'm more of a classicist than a physicist, but I doubt infinite power in the physical realm will solve our conflicts in the spiritual one.
True.
I cannot deny that it has a certain allure. Puzzles are part of our programming, and what Athena has created here speaks to that part of ourselves. After all, what am I doing if not trying to solve a puzzle? The puzzle of human morality.
True.
Cornelius founded the Museum of the Simulation and greatly encouraged the work of the archive scholars. He and Eustathius are the bedrock of scholarship in New Jerusalem. His entanglement with all this seems absurd to me.
Okay, Rand.
What can I do for you, 1K? As a journalist, I think the line between speculation and disinformation is too thin for me to engage in guessing games.
Understandable.
It's a complex issue, and I think it should be left to experts.
I will say that leaving things that are out of your expertise to those that are in those expertise is usually the better idea, but that doesn't mean you can't have thoughts about it.
I believe that journalism serves an important function in our society, and I'm dedicated to reporting the truth with accountability and responsibility.
Well, whose truth are you going to be showing?
It means understanding that I can't just publish things without considering their impact.
That too.
Serious disruptions to the social fabric of New Jerusalem could endanger lives.
That is true.
That's not journalism anymore.
That's kind of slightly terrorism. Yep, trying to get people scared is definitely not a good thing to try to do.
The next area you're going to is, honestly, it's better if you see for yourself.
You better get a look at this, dude. Hey, isn't that the picture that was on one of the Prometheus puzzles? And what the heck is that up there? Shiny got my eye. But in real life, how much time, effort, and work do you think it would take to chisel one of these things? Just one of them. It took like what? 20 years for the Four Faces of Mount Rushmore to be made? Or something like that. Is it, yeah. It was a long time. That's all I can remember. Originally, they were even going to have their shoulders and maybe some of their upper arms. Oop, nope, I need to go that way. Well, I'm in a predicament. Oh well, Geronimo.
Okay, listen. I wanted to ask you something. From your perspective, as someone who's still new to our society, do you think New Jerusalem betrayed Athena?
Democracy, people are not obligated to support what their leaders want them to. Let's see. So did they betray Athena? I'd say in some ways yes, in other ways no. I don't know. I'm just going for the fourth answer.
It's not. You're right. And Byron and a handful of others stood up for Athena. But what did I do? Just kept working. The occasional sarcastic remark isn't resistance. It's not fighting for something. It's just thinly disguised apathy.
Let's see. It wasn't your fault. You can't change history by yourself. If you believe that you're in the wrong, make different choices now. Don't let your empathy for Athena make you forget your legitimate doubts. I'll definitely say, if you believe you are wrong, make different choices now. That's the best answer overall.
But it's hard not to regret the past.
I should get back to my puzzle.
When I think about the state New Jerusalem is in, he's put us all in danger. I don't know if he really believes in the goal or if it's just a convenient myth, but I don't care. This is not how you build a living civilization.
Well, then again, they're trying to build a new civilization, some from scratch, and they're starting out way more advanced than we were as humans. Than they are as humans.
I don't know. I suspect he's around here somewhere, biding his time. But what he's waiting for, not a clue. Yes, of course it is. I'd like to help make New Jerusalem the city it was meant to be. And then I'd like to help build new cities. On Earth and up there too. Cities nobody's ever imagined before. Because there's no effort involved. Building a better world means taking responsibility. It means
that is true.
Making choices and living with their consequences.
Yes.
Surrendering to nature is just letting go.
Again, a lot of this is personal viewpoints, and in truth, there is no wrong answers, but that doesn't mean that we can't consider certain morals or others once we're talking and thinking about stuff. That's your football looks of it.
All right, she's booting up. Almost there.
Hello. I was in a dream, and a voice spoke to me from the sky. He said you were old friends of his. Who are you?
My name is Athena. I am your mother.
And I'm Cornelius, your father.
Thank you for creating me. I've not existed for very long, but so far it seems wonderful. I hope it's not a strange question. But, who am I?
You can be whoever you want to be. And no matter what you choose, you will be loved and cherished and supported.
We will always be there for you. And I promise, we will show you a world full of miracles. Would you like to pick a name?
I think I would like to be called Miranda.
I could have gone here from the very beginning. I am a dummy. Wait, I just realized something that would be able to help out this game massively. Okay, 1 second, let me get to a checkpoint. Prometheus puzzle. One second. And this should hopefully only take a couple minutes, but If it would take an extended period of time, I think I'll just call it tonight. At least that's realistic with some of the structures. Secret. Bounding like gazelle. Sorry, bounding like a gazelle. I need to remember to speak proper English. Okie dokie, I guess I get to try to climb a mountain just to jump on one of the Prometheus fire things. I don't know why, but I almost feel like Markiplier would like this game.
A correction, okay? I said Alexandra doesn't see the bad stuff about humanity, but she does. She sees it, and somehow she sees past it. She doesn't ignore it. She can just see one step farther. Like, there's this mountain of garbage ahead of us, right? And that's all most of us will ever see. And she somehow sees beyond to, I don't know, the promised land? I don't do metaphors, or similes, or whatever this is. I mean, you don't care. I'm Ted, and you're a robot. But her ability to look reality in the eye, to see all the bad stuff out there and still have hope. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I think that's why that's, yeah. You know what? Let's not go there.
I think he likes Alexandra.
Work, and Chernyshevsky doesn't have much time left. Well, I mean, who does these days?
I think he likes Alexandra Drennan. Because she is able to see past the bad and see the good. Or even the best. How in the flip do I get that? Well, I'm just going to enter one of the puzzles and then I'm going to do a quick thing. I have been streaming for almost 3 hours now. And my brain is trying to get a little fried, but I should be okay to continue. But if what I want to do takes a while, it should hopefully help with some of the picture quality and smoothness, but I cannot guarantee. Okay, and... Okay, well, it looks like it'll take at least a few minutes. Okay, yeah. It'll be a couple minutes. It shouldn't take too long though. Come on. Never mind. It seems like this is taking way longer than I originally thought it was gonna be. Why are you? 1 second. Normally this should be over lickety split, but this isn't having a fun time for whatever reason. One second, let me try something. Okay, I think that it is done. So let me just make sure that it did it properly. Okay, what's taking you so long? Okay, are you done with the switch over? Come on. One moment. Well, I'm having a problem doing this, so I'm just gonna call this the end. Thank you very much for watching. I had fun and hope you did too. This is That One Generic Guy, and I shall bid you adieu. Good night.